Hey everyone, Nathan with Batwing Chassis. Today we're going to talk about how to properly install the front end on your car and set it up. This car is in assembly process, so this is basically just for informational use only. We're going to start with a spindle installation. On the right front here, we have our spindle, and you're going to have 2 1/4-inch spacers. So one spacer goes on top of the spindle and one goes on bottom of the spindle. So you're going to put one on the top, put the spindle on, and then put the other spacer on the bottom. Oops. And then your lock nut goes on the bottom. If these lock nuts go bad, I would replace it. I've seen some guys put a longer bolt in there and pin it, but if you're checking this every week, that should never come loose or every race. Okay, so your spindle's in the center location here. You can move it up or down with those spacers, but the standard setup starts with the spindle in the center location. I tighten that all the way up, and then I back it off just a little bit, so you're not pinching that, and it steers nicely. We have these loose for now, so we can adjust that later. Next, you'll put your spindle hub on. So you're gonna have 3 spacers here also. The long one goes on first. Then I put a 3/4-inch spacer on, and then the wheel hub, then another 3/4 spacer, and your nut, your lock nut. To set this properly, do a similar process. We tighten that up all the way, and we spin the hub, then we'll loosen that up slightly. You don't want to over tighten it, it'll take out the bearings. So you just want to be able to barely turn your spacer bearings, or your spacers, and not move the hub. It takes a little bit of fine tuning. So there's that. So that's how we set that. Okay, next thing we do after we got our spindles assembled and on the front axle, right and left are the same with those 1/4-inch spacers, top and bottom. That would be centered. That'd be a good starting point. Next, we're going to put our right height blocks in there. I just cut some wood. Your right front one is 1 3/4 inches. The left front one I already have in there is 1 7/8 inches. Now these are going to be placed underneath the axle on top of the frame on both right and left side. So now that we have those in there, we can properly begin to square the front end up. Next thing, we always start on the right front of the car and then move to the left side. So once we've got our axle in there and spindles, we're gonna only need a few different wrenches, 15/16 wrenches and your 9/16 wrenches and a 3/16 Allen for tightening the clamp on the front axle clamp bracket. So once the axle is in there and mocked up, I usually leave everything loose. When I assemble these rods on a car, I put these trailing arms on there with the left-hand thread on the left. So when I walk up to adjust this, I know this is the left-hand thread side and this is the right-hand thread side. It just helps from guessing on which way you got to loosen the jam nuts. So everything's on here is all mocked up and we're ready to adjust. All right, so looking on the inside of the car, we want to square the front axle to the chassis tube below it. So I look straight down here. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You could string line the car and then pull a measurement that way. Otherwise, we know the chassis tube below the front axle is square to the car. So if we look down the front edge of this axle to the tube below it, and we square the front axle side to side that way, then we know the axle is in there square. The next thing we're gonna do is to set the axle side to side with this front panhard bar. So we lengthen or shorten that. So I'm gonna take a measurement from the outside of the axle to the frame rail and the inside here. So we're 6.5 here. We'll go to the other side and measure it. And we're 6.5 there to the edge of the frame. So we're good to set the front panhard bar, and the front axle is in there square side to side also. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is set the caster and camber. So on the right front, we want the top of the wheel tipped in 2 degrees. You can do that with an angle finder and a square or a couple different ways. So we want a gap at the top and the top of the wheel tipped in. The way you adjust that is by these rod ends here on the inside. So you'll lengthen or shorten that one. You're gonna pull that in to give yourself some camber here, I'm sorry. Okay, so adjusting the caster, we adjust these rod ends and jam nuts in and out. Once we have their 2 degrees of the wheel tipped in, we tighten these. Now when we tighten these, we want the heim to be flat or straight. Okay, so we tighten that. All right, after we've got the camber set, that's the wheel tipped in 2 degrees at the top. Next, we're gonna set the caster. Caster is this upper ball joint, or rod end we call it, but is gonna be behind the bottom one. So to check that, we use our square again on the floor. So I'm touching the threads on the top. Some people go off of here. I like to go off the threaded part of the rod end, and this one should be behind the bottom one. So to do that, we lengthen and shorten these upper and lower rods here, trailing arm rods on the right front. All right, once we've got the caster set, 2 degrees positive, top one behind the bottom one, we tighten the jam nuts on the right front here. I always turn them and tighten them in a fashion so they can pivot both ways after you tighten them, so it can still move. So you tighten the top and the bottom on the right front. Now we'll move to the left front. All right, so on the left front, there's a couple critical things over here. A lot like the right front as far as setting caster and camber, we use our square on the wheel. The left front wheel, we want straight up and down at 0 for the camber. And you can split the left front caster from the right front. This side only has 1 trailing arm, and this top ball joint is slotted, so you can move it forward and back. So you can have a different caster reading than the left front. But a good starting point here is also 2 degrees behind the bottom one. So we're gonna set that with our angle finder and your square also. So at positive 2 degrees. All right, once we have that set, we'll tighten everything down again, making sure our heims are straight. Next key thing is the left front steering arm. We refer to this as the steering arm. It's bent for a reason, to clear the brake pedal. This is your tie rod, the one that connects the 2 spindles. That's your tie rod. This is your steering rod. Now, you have to be very careful here to tighten these jam nuts on this steering arm so it's not down here. See what happens? It'll hit this and you'll lock your steering up. So you want to make sure to tighten these jam nuts so they can still move and pivot, but not fall down in here. So we tighten these up so it can still move, but not down and interfere with the axle and your steering. Okay. The next thing that's very important is this bracket here, your steering bracket. I've got that loose in here. When you turn that wheel all the way to the right, this can go over center if your bracket's too far to the right. So we turn this both ways. I can turn all the way that way, and I can turn this way. And you want to make sure the steering arm doesn't spin around and go on top and go over center. So we move this bracket side to side so the steering can go both ways and not over center. Then we center this here on our steering shaft and tighten your 2 clamp brackets on the axle. All right, last but not least is we set the toe and the wheel. That's the relationship between the wheels toed in or toed out. On a dirt car, we always want the tires toed out. So that means the front measurement is going to be wider than the back measurement. Get yourself some plates like this. We sell them on the website, or make your own, whatever. But it's a 2-person process. You hook the tape measure to each side, make sure your plate's tight to the wheel, and then you take a measurement. Typically, we want to be between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch toed out in the front. So you want this dimension to be 1/4 or 3/8 wider than the rear dimension. And we adjust that by the tie rod here, lengthening or shortening that. Now we saw a 34 and a 35 inch tie rod. That should suit everybody's needs. Why they're different lengths, it depends on where you have these upper and lower ball joints set as far as your rod ends in and out on both sides. That's going to vary your toe also. So if you make an adjustment up here on either side, that will affect the toe out of your car. So you might want to double check it after you make an adjustment here. But generally speaking, we want to be toed out 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. Bigger tracks maybe less, smaller tracks maybe more. Hopefully this video helps answer some questions on how to set up the front end of your Batwing chassis.